Hi and welcome back to my channel. It is a nice snowy spring day here in Indiana. If you've never been to Indiana, just know that earlier this week it was 70 degrees and then today I am looking out the window at a bunch of snow. So welcome to Indiana if this is new to you. But this is a perfect time for me to stay in and share with you the beginning of a new series that I'm going to do, which is going to be my top 3. And so we're going to be starting off today talking about my top 3 breweries in Indianapolis. I've been to about 15 breweries, and so this is not going to be an extensive list that I'm pulling from, but just what I've experienced in the Indianapolis area. Now that I've been back, especially going in the summer, I'm sure I'm going to try out even more breweries, and so this list could be evolving over time, but I'm going to share with you what my top 3 are at this point. These are all breweries that I have personally been to. If I have photos from me going there, I will include it. If not, I'll just tell you about the places. What I kind of think about when I think of a good brewery, I think of the atmosphere. Is it conducive to groups going and hanging out and enjoying the atmosphere? I also think about what they offer, whether that's games or food or any of those extras. Then also the beer itself. Just so you guys know, I love my coffee. I've talked about that quite a bit. And so as I feel a lot of women who love coffee, their beer tastes tend to go towards stouts and dark beers, and I fall in that category. I am not an IPA girl. So I certainly will be taking into consideration if they offer a wide selection of beer to make sure no matter where you fall on the beer drinking spectrum that it has something for you. But since I am a dark beer drinker, that's really where I'm going to be able to evaluate how good they are in that space, since that's what I know the most. So if you're interested in knowing what are the best breweries in Indianapolis, keep watching. All right, so falling in place number 3 is Scarlet Lane. They actually have several locations. They have the main brewery out in McCordsville, which is just outside of Indianapolis. They also have a tap room in Sobro or South Broad Ripple, and then on the south side as well. I've actually only been to the Broad Ripple location, so that's the only one I can really speak to. Why did this one kind of rank in my top 3? One, I think it has a unique history. It has a female led brewer, and that's really unique. I don't think there's any other breweries that have a woman that is the mastermind behind the brews, and I think that's pretty cool. I also like the vibe inside of the tap house. It's very kind of austere, but somehow still very classy. It's red and black, and they like things kind of scary looking, which I think is kind of unique. I think that'd be a great place to go for Halloween. They had several dark beer options, and something that I thought was really unique is that they do like a sparkling Australian ale, and so my friend got that and absolutely loved it. They also had a very strong rosé beer. I think it was like 11%, which typically when you get kind of what would be like a rosé style beer, they're usually quite light, and I thought that was very unique. I had friends with me, we've done flights, we got individual beers, and we just really enjoyed what they had to offer all the way around. I will say this is not the place to go if you're wanting to have a meal. I did not see any food on the menu. What I did see were 2 jars with cookies. I will say the cookies look delicious. I think they're from Four Bird Bakery, I think that's the name of it. If I have it wrong, I'll put the actual name below. The cookies did look amazing, but they were like $3.50 a cookie. If you go to Amelia's Bakery, their cookies are very similar and they're $2 a piece. So we did not get the cookies, as $3.50 for a cookie seemed a little expensive. So I just thought it was a good, comfortable place to go to get a beer. You're gonna get good service. And I just love that Sobro area. You can easily walk to other places afterwards, grab dinner, good parking, as it wasn't right in downtown, like Broad Ripple area. It was on that Sobro area, so there was good street parking. And so all around, I just thought it was a great place, and that's why it landed in number 3 for me. All right, so landing at number 2 is Black Acre Brewery, and that is not to be confused with Black Circle. I will say this about Black Circle, it's not my place. It's a bit more divey. You see people in black and leather and chains. All right, so I don't know if you can see around me, but there is a lot of heavy metal. There are scary movies playing on the screen. Definitely a different vibe to Scarlet Lane where we were earlier. But the food, really good. Cuban food, I do recommend that. But yeah, this is a leather and motorcycle place, so a little different. So just know that before you come here. Now you know. Just not my vibe. I will say the food at Black Acre is great. It's a little Cuban catering that does all their food and it's delicious. So I can't recommend Black Circle for their beer. I can recommend them for some good Cuban food. So empanadas, plantains, things like that. So there's a little food bonus right now, but I want to talk about Black Acre. They're in the Irvington area. They're very chill. They're very relaxed. And I really like that. It's an unassuming little place that just really does beer well. And they just have fun names for their beer. The two that I remember the most is Beard Tax, and then what was the other one? So I have my computer up here. Beer Tax is one that I thought was pretty funny. Grandma's Ambrosia Salad is another one. And then Saucy Intruder. Like, it's just a fun place to go. There's games, they do trivia. They do have food, though it is a bit of a limited menu. There's several really great restaurants there in the Irvington area. Giacomo Pizza comes to mind as a great place, and so I almost would recommend getting dinner and then heading there for drinks afterwards. Number one, my favorite brewery is a newer one to me, but as soon as I walked in the door, it went straight to the top, and that is Metazoa Brewery in downtown. Oh my gosh, what is there not to like about this place? One, it's huge, a great beer selection, really friendly bartenders that are funny, they'll joke with you, they're also professional, and the best part is there's dogs. So many dogs. In Chicago, I used to have a little place called the Beer Shop in Oak Park that was dog friendly, and it was my most favorite bar. And that is kind of like the Beer Shop, but on steroids. It's so big, and I love it. I went with friends, we sat on a table. It was a long shared table with another group of people who had a tiny corgi puppy. And it was just so great. We got to pet it, play with it. And so I think that's what makes Metazoa so special. I think 5% of all their proceeds go to animals, and so I think that's really great. And so you get a beer, you get a really social environment, and you get to distress a little bit by playing with a dog. What's not to like about that? So yay for beer. There's a patio. When we went, it was snowing, so we didn't get to enjoy the patio, but that'll be a great place to go in the summertime. There also were food trucks, and we got some of the food, which was delicious. And so I hear that they have a lot of the same food trucks time and time again. So while there's not an on-site kitchen, there are food options available. I'm really glad to know that Indianapolis now has a dog-friendly bar. I live in an apartment, I don't have a pet, and so I definitely think that's going to be a go-to place for me and my friends in the summertime to grab some beers, play with some dogs.
This place is awesome! The beer is great! I love the puppies!
Hey, Steve, what do you think?
I'm going to be completely objective here. You know, I mean, we've been to a lot of great places tonight, but Metazoa takes the cake here. I mean, they're dog friendly. They have a great selection of stouts, and they're open to food trucks, and they have patio seating once the weather is actually better and not snowing in April. Thank you, Indiana.
All right, so those are my top 3 breweries in Indianapolis. I'm curious, does that match your list? Do you have some other ones that you would recommend that I check out? If so, in the comments below, leave me what your favorite brewery in Indianapolis is, and maybe I'll be able to check it out in the coming weeks. So here at the end, I'm just going to insert some photos from me and my friends when we went out the other night to do some research on the top breweries in Indianapolis. I hope this encourages you to get off your couch, get out of your apartment, get out of your house, turn off Netflix, and make sure that you're really enjoying all that Indianapolis has to offer. It's a great city. Don't miss out. All right, take care.